They say dead men tell no tales, and that, my friends, is true. However, I'm still alive, so I can still tell tales. And by tales, I mean lore, because we did get a official lore drop from Disney earlier this week on the new Pirates of the Caribbean themed tavern opening up very soon this year at the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World. And first off, we finally have a name for the new tavern. It will be called the Beak and Barrel. Kind of a good name. I think that's a solid name. I do think it's a little bit of a mistake to allow anybody under 21 into this Pirates Tavern. I'm looking at you, Geo82. I love you. But it's a family occasion. There'll be sing-alongs, there'll be effects that go off, sort of like a pirate-style Trader Sam's. I'm sure there's gonna be rum, I hope there's mutton, something like that some pirate eats, but we're not here to talk about the menu, we're here to talk about the lore, because today we did get a little bit of lore. Lore that I'm going to try my best to tie back to the Haunted Mansion and the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. We'll see how it goes. So first off, let's talk 1.5 new characters that are established in the story of Adventureland for this tavern. We have Captain Meridian, or Mary Goldwyn, and her talkative first mate, Rummy. Now, Rummy is the name of the parrot, who looks very, very similar to the old Barker parrot that some of you may remember from the old entrance to Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, are these two the same parrot? We'll get to that in a second. Disney says, as Mary's trusted companion and first mate, Rummy serves as the tavern's quartermaster, keeping an eye on the place from his roof high atop the bar. Although retired from seafaring life, Rummy is a dutiful crewman to his beloved Mary, ensuring everything is shipshape, sharing tales of piracy and leading the bar in a rousing toast or two. Now, the vibe I'm getting from Rummy based on this paragraph and the photo of him that we can see is very much Rosita from the Tropical Hideaway at Disneyland, a tiki room-esque animatronic bird out there in the open, well, not in the open, in the lounge for all of us to see and maybe interact with. Probably won't be interactive, but he'll speak to us. We won't speak to him. Now, in the Beak and Barrel, there will be two main themed dining rooms. You'll have the mess and the captain's quarters. Let's start with the mess. You see, it is the main room, the big room with the big anchor chandelier that you've seen in the concept art for a while now. That also features Rummy the parrot. Rummy will be in this room, and the captain's quarters is exactly what it sounds like. It's a fancier room decorated with ships and bottles and flags from all of the captain's previous endeavors. And I'll quote the article with this. Guests may also spot the enchanted rum bottle, which was gifted to Mary by the enchantress Tia Dalma and seemingly serves as the source of the tavern's specialty brews. So Tia Dalma is here. Tia Dalma is part of the story, and with Jack Sparrow on the inside of the attraction and Jack Sparrow's flag right here in the corner of the concept art, we can safely assume that the ride and the bar all take place within the same continuity as the motion pictures, the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. And that's sort of been the going theory for a while now. Our experience on Pirates of the Caribbean, the ride when we're riding it at Disneyland or Disney World, is just one of the side adventures of Jack Sparrow and Captain Barbossa on the island of Puerto Dorado. And it's the same island whether or not you're at the Magic Kingdom or Disneyland. It's the same story overall. In fact, if you squint, eagle-eyed viewers may see a photo, a painting I guess, of Captain Barbossa here in the bar. So yes, these two are connected, or I guess these three, the bar, the movies, and the ride. And I'm going to hazard a guess that this mysterious green glowing bottle locked away in a cabinet is the enchanted rum that was given from Tia Dalma to, what's her name, Mary? Yes, Mary. I was worried about saying Mary because Mary Oceaneer is another sailor sort of character who is part of the SEA. And speaking of SEA, there's got to be a couple ties in here, right? We don't see any in the concept art, at least not yet with what they've released. But I do think we'll see some sort of Society of Explorers and Adventurers representation in here somewhere, whether that be a note or a book on the SEA. Just one little logo somewhere letting us know that yes, the SEA does have their claws in every single aspect of the Disney parks. And that's a good thing. By the way, it's a great thing. Now let's get back to Rummy for a second. Disney mentioned that some fans may recognize him as looking very, very similar to the old Barker bird, the old Barker parrot out in front of Pirates of the Caribbean back in the day. They have since removed him, but now he is in the Beak and Barrel. Unless this is a different bird, I don't see how it is though. I mean, for crying out loud, they have the same shaved chest and the same tattoo. I think that the Barker parrot is Rummy. This is the same guy. Now, I do want to point out that there is another green parrot in the actual Pirates of the Caribbean attraction with a shaved chest, but I do not believe this is Rummy / the Barker parrot. I think these are two different birds. And looking at the behind the scenes photo of this parrot animatronic, you can clearly see that these two are very, very different. This is not the same guy. Either that, or this is the same parrot and he just threw his life away and started drinking very, very often. And now he's Rummy. And he's not Rummy because his name is very cute and it's sort of like, oh, look, his tummy is shaved, he's Rummy. No, it's because he just drinks ungodly amounts of rum all day long. And his wife misses him. And his children are ashamed of him. And what kind of owner, what kind of friend is Mary that she feeds her pet friend parrot rum all day? That's not a good idea, Mary. No, I don't think that's the case. I think these are two different parrots. I think maybe they're cousins, maybe they're brothers. That could be a solid theory. Someone work on that. Someone make a video on how these parrots are brothers. But the Barker parrot is Rummy, okay? I believe that. You can also see that if we zoom in on the mantle here in the captain's quarters, various ships in bottles that are said to come alive, most likely when someone orders a specific drink, like Trader Sam's. But you can see one specific ship with black sails in one of the bottles, which makes me think that the time period that this bar and the ride are set in is the period of time when the Black Pearl is shrunk down to fit inside of a little bottle. Blackbeard himself shrunk it down, and the pearl isn't returned to its former glory until about 3/4 of the way through Pirates of the Caribbean 5, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Remember the 5th movie? They made a 5th one? So with the Black Pearl tiny and still within its bottle, this bar, the ride, they all take place before the 5th movie. Either that or they just wanted to put the Black Pearl somewhere in the bar and they can shrink it down so you can, put it with all the other ships and bottles. That's also a very strong possibility. Now, I see the most important people talking about. All the celebrities are chattering about this. Ryan Gosling mentioned it the other day. I believe Zendaya also raised this point alongside Darth Vader himself. Not the actor, not James Earl Jones or David Prowse, just Darth Vader. The real Darth Vader. Everyone is asking, where, exactly, does Jean Lafitte fit into all of this? Now, if you don't know about Jean Lafitte, 1, if you think I'm saying his name wrong, you're right. And 2, I have a very large portfolio of Lafitte content on this channel. I'm looking around this concept art right now, peering from side to side in the tiniest corner down to the smallest minute pixel, and I'm not seeing any Jean Lafitte references. Is anybody else here seeing any sign of Jean Lafitte at the Beak and Barrel? I don't know. It's a little bit concerning to me, but I have faith when the lounge opens up in the later half of this year, I'll talk about that in a second, that there will be some reference to Jean Lafitte, whether that be the 1764 number somewhere from the archway at Disneyland, or maybe even Lafitte's flag, or a painting or something. There will be one, right, Disney? Right, Imagineers watching this video, even if it's just a little piece of set dressing, please? Another weird story about the Beak and Barrel is reservations were going to open up in June. Disney actually announced this. To book your 45-minute long experience at the lounge, and then mysteriously the link was taken down and all mention of it was scrubbed from the Disney website. See, on the website it claimed that Disney Resort hotel guests could start booking on June 12th. And then very quickly it was changed to the Beak and Barrel is scheduled to open in late 2025. Reservations are recommended. So either they pushed back the opening date or they were not supposed to post that, which I think is kind of silly, but we all make mistakes. It's a small thing. So when will we be able to experience the Beak and Barrel, experience Rummy, the knot, or maybe Barker parrot and all of the fun effects that go on in there and maybe some Jean Lafitte references? My guess is October. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna tell you that the Beak and Barrel is opening in October of 2025. Calling my shot right now. October is when it's gonna be, because that is when I am visiting Walt Disney World next. So I'm gonna try and get in. There is a treasure chest with a bunch of hats stacked near it. That's a reference to this scene in the Burning Town portion of the ride. That's maybe a lore drop. I'm not sure. I think it is just an Easter egg, a reference though. And up here, a cannon that looks like it's going to fire. Again, probably depending on when someone orders a certain drink, and a little cat resting right next to the cannon that is freshly fired. That is a very tired cat. On the ceiling, you can see a painted map. I don't know what the map is of. It's round though, so maybe it could be the map to the Fountain of Youth that's used in the movie At World's End and on Stranger Tides, but I just think it's a map. I don't know if it's necessarily evoking that on purpose. And then of course, it wouldn't be a Pirates of the Caribbean themed anything without a dirty pirate foot hanging down from the ceiling above you. That's one of the most iconic scenes in the ride, and it's going to be recreated here in the lounge, which I think is really neat. But I think that's all of the lore from the Beak and Barrel that I can deduce from these 2 pieces of concept art that we've gotten. There's a third one, but it doesn't really show much, just Rummy sitting there with a bunch of fighting pirates. But now I'm going to ask you, my friend, are you excited for this Pirates Lounge? I know it's no epic universe opening, but I do think it's going to be a lot of fun. You're limited to 45 minutes, but whenever I go into Oga's Cantina or something, I'm never there for more than 45 minutes. Maybe it's just because I'm a fast eater, I'm in and I'm out, but I think this is going to be great. I'm excited to ride Pirates of the Caribbean and then afterwards retire to the Beak and Barrel for a nice little cask of ale. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I believe this is the first time they're serving alcohol at the Magic Kingdom outside of table service restaurants, so that's a bit of a leap, I know, but I'm excited. I think it's gonna be fun. I love a good themed environment, especially a themed bar. Don't even get me started on Trader Sam's. That one's probably going to be a lot more relaxing than the Beak and Barrel, and it'll still probably remain my favorite, but man, it looks so good. This just looks like it's gonna be great. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and I am going to go swashbuckle my way to the end card, right? What does swashbuckle mean? To engage in daring and romantic adventures with bravado or flamboyance.
Dead men tell no
I think that's like the definition of swashbuckling, right? Did I do a good job? Maybe. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching this video about the Beak and Barrel opening relatively soon at the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button, and if you're new around here and you want more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. Like I said in last week's video, this is a bit of a more normal video, you know, talking about lore and fun and, you know, Jean Lafitte. That last video about Abu Dhabi Disneyland was received more positively than I thought. You know, everyone was being very kind in the comments, very respectful of each other, so it was great having that discussion with all of you, and it was even more fun to return to good old classic Lafitte this week. If you want to follow me on other social medias, you can. I am on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Offhand Disney. If you want to pay a little bit extra, and by a little bit, I mean even just $1 a month, you can get access to exclusive early videos and exclusive videos for Patreon members only at my Patreon, linked in the description down below, or patreon.com/offhanddisney. But everyone, I think that might actually be everything for the end card this week. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing everybody here in the next video, which should be coming out next week. It's an in-park video. I'm going to Disneyland this weekend. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We'll see you there. We'll see you then. Goodbye.